No wonder so many millennials and Gen Z are still stuck in their childhood bedrooms. Because in today's cities, free rent and dad's bad sports takes are cheaper than a $3,200 shoebox apartment. Forget avocado toast. The real luxury for young Americans is just moving out. And when an entire generation can't even get in the door, that's not just their problem. It's a warning sign that American cities are in serious trouble. From skyrocketing rents, to crime that feels worse than ever, to climate threats that no one wants to talk about, our cities are collapsing from the inside out. And here's the harsh truth. Once the younger generation stops buying in, the future of these cities starts slipping away too. Walk with me, and let's go beyond the map to uncover why the fall of America's great cities might be unstoppable. Housing is where the collapse of American cities is felt most painfully. For decades, moving downtown was seen as a smart step up, a way to live near opportunity, culture, and jobs. But today, the door to city housing isn't just closed, it's bolted shut. Developers run into endless roadblocks, historic landmark rules, neighborhood pushback, and red tape that can drag a single project out for years. Meanwhile, big corporations swoop in, buying up blocks of apartments just to flip them into Airbnbs or keep them as investment properties. The result? A housing supply so squeezed that only the wealthy can afford to play. Ownership, once the hallmark of the American dream, is out of reach for most. In New York, the median listing price is $829,000. In Los Angeles, nearly $1 million. Even cheaper cities like Chicago hover above $300,000, far beyond what most young families can handle. Renting isn't better. In many cities, half your paycheck disappears just to keep a roof overhead, leaving nothing for savings. For Gen Z and millennials, this means moving out isn't delayed, it's impossible. And when younger generations can't afford to build roots in America's cities, those cities slowly start to wither. Walk through almost any major U.S. city today, and you'll see the most visible sign of urban decline: homelessness. Tents under overpasses, makeshift camps in parks, and people sleeping in subway stations are no longer rare sights. They're part of the daily landscape. But what most people don't realize is that homelessness isn't one issue, it's several. Some are working people who simply fell on hard times and got priced out of the market. Others are struggling with untreated addiction or severe mental illness. And a small but very visible percentage create public safety risks that leave residents fearful. For the average person, perception becomes reality. Whether crime statistics are up or down doesn't matter when the experience of walking home at night feels unsafe. Social media amplifies every incident: a viral video of an assault on a subway platform, or a robbery caught on camera. That creates what many call a climate of fear. And when ordinary families and seniors feel unsafe, they change their behavior, avoiding restaurants, skipping transit, and sometimes leaving the city altogether. Homelessness isn't just a humanitarian crisis. It's a wedge that deepens mistrust, fuels political battles, and accelerates the urban exodus. For many, the biggest shock about today's cities isn't just housing. It's the staggering cost of everything else. Once, people flocked downtown because city life meant convenience and variety. Restaurants, shopping, entertainment. But today, those very perks feel like luxuries. In some cities, even toothpaste and laundry detergent are locked behind plexiglass at CVS, turning every shopping trip into a waiting game for a clerk with a key. Restaurants. A quick sit-down dinner can easily blow past $50 for two, while even fast casual lunches now flirt with $20 a plate. These prices don't exist in a vacuum. Commercial rents are sky high, forcing shopkeepers and restaurants to pass the cost directly onto customers. Add in inflation, lingering pandemic debt, and pressure to tack on higher gratuities, and suddenly, city living feels like being nickel and dimed at every turn. For older Americans who remember when city outings were affordable, it's a bitter pill. And for younger generations, the math simply doesn't add up. Why pay more for less when suburban or smaller town life offers the same services at a fraction of the cost? As businesses shutter and prices climb, cities risk hollowing out, leaving only the wealthy, the desperate, and the tourists. Cities once promised freedom from long commutes. Move into the heart of the action, and you could skip the endless crawl on highways. But today, transportation is another part of the crisis. Subways are overcrowded, underfunded, and plagued by delays. Buses sit in the same gridlock as cars because few cities invested in dedicated lanes. And even driving is getting worse, with congestion pricing schemes now charging drivers just to enter certain districts. For seniors or families on a budget, that feels less like urban planning and more like a tax on daily life. Infrastructure is also stretched thin. In New York and Philadelphia, transit agencies face budget crises that force service cuts, which only make the system less reliable. Stations often lack accessibility features, making them difficult for older residents or people with mobility issues. And then there's safety, overheated platforms, broken elevators, and the constant worry of being stuck underground if something malfunctions. The promise of convenient city living has collapsed into frustration. Whether you're behind the wheel, swiping a Metro card, or just trying to cross a congested street, the message is clear. American cities can't even move their people efficiently anymore. As if affordability, safety, and convenience weren't enough, America's cities now face an even larger threat: the climate itself. Coastal metros like New York, Miami, and New Orleans face rising seas and catastrophic flooding. Inland cities like Phoenix and Las Vegas bake under 110 to 120 degree summer heat waves that test both the power grid and human endurance. Meanwhile, wildfire smoke chokes skylines from California to Chicago, turning once vibrant downtowns into hazy, unlivable zones for days at a time. For older generations, this is an alarming shift. The cities you once knew as vibrant cultural centers are now on the front lines of natural disasters. A hurricane, blackout, or heat wave isn't just an inconvenience, it can be deadly, especially for seniors. And for younger generations, the question is simple: why tie your future to a city that might literally drown, burn, or overheat? This environmental pressure compounds every other problem. Businesses hesitate to invest, insurance costs skyrocket, residents leave, and tax bases shrink, making it even harder for cities to prepare. Climate change isn't just about weather. It's about whether America's great cities can survive at all. American cities once promised opportunity, but today they're pricing people out, wearing people down, and pushing the next generation away. Housing, safety, costs, even the climate itself, it all points in one direction. The collapse isn't coming, it's already here. If you found this breakdown useful, hit the like button, subscribe, and stick with me, because the map of America is changing fast, and you don't want to be left behind.